we had, was it 10.2? No, 10.1, sorry. It was 10.1. I do want to take a look at 10.1 because some of you said there you had some questions, and I really don't mind spending a minute if you want me to help you figure something out. Does anybody want me to do one of those problems that I assigned yesterday? Yes, good. On the word problems?
Yeah, it's 3.
Okay, let's take a look at number 3 for a second. All right. It says that David measured the heights of 10 of his classmates. He found that the average was 54.8. He then added his own height and found the average again. With David's height, the average was 55 inches. Now look, this is on most standardized tests, so I'm really glad you asked me about that. All right. So here's what I want you to highlight on your iPad. The fact that originally there were what? 10. And the average was what? 54.8. Carter, listen, I'm talking. I want you listening to me. All right? So if the average of the students or of the 10 kids was 54.8 inches, what was the sum of all of their heights? Somebody tell me what the sum of all their heights were. Ian, did you hear what I said? What is it? What's the sum of all their heights? Bradley, what would be the sum of all their heights? If the average of 10 was 54.8, what would be the sum of all of their heights? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Look right here. Now here's what I want you to do on your paper. I want you to write out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 people involved, right? Now to find the average, what do? We add them up. But do we have all of their individual heights? No, we already know the average. Now, see if you agree. If I put 54.8, 54.8, and I make all their heights 54.8, what would the average be? What would the average be? You're right. Tell me again. What would the average? If everybody in the class got 100, yeah, if everybody in the class got 100 on their test, then our average would be a what? 100. Right? Does everybody hear what I'm saying? So if 10 people have an average height of 54.8 inches, if I added all their heights together, it would be how much again? Yes, it would be 548. So I want you to write down 54.8 times 10 is equal to the total height, which in this case is 548 inches. So everybody's height, if we added all the inches, would add up to 548. Is that correct? Now, it says with David's height, the new average was what? Was 55 inches. All right, was 55 inches. So how many people are involved now? 11. So what would be the total number of inches now? Justice, how would I find that?
You would divide 55
55 times 11. Listen to what he just said. We would do 55 times 11. And that would give me the total height of all 11 kids. How much? No, 55 times 11. Somebody do that for me. 605. 605 inches. Does everybody agree with that? So now, right up here, how many kids are involved here? 10. How many kids are involved here? So how tall was the 11th person? 50 what? Well, how did you figure that, though? Well, I know, but how would you tell me? I want to know. I mean, I know your answer is 57. Number one, 57 is right there. All right? But I'm asking you, how did we get 57 inches? Of course you do. right? Look up now. And again, I can't tell you how important this problem is on a lot of standardized tests. So I understand if I add these 10 people up, their height totaled what? 548 inches. If I add these heights up, it totaled what? 605. How many people different are there here? One. I'm only interested in the height of one person. And that person would have to be what? 57 inches. Why is it 57? Because if you take on your calculator and do 605 minus 548, what is that going to be? 57 inches. All right, listen, I'm trying to tell you, these are very, very important problems. And if you're sitting there not knowing, I want to help you. All right, do you understand what I said? Is that better for you now? You all right? Okay, that was hard, guys. I'm not, that's very difficult for most kids. All right, so let me give you another little bit of advice. Whenever somebody gives you an average, I don't really care what the average is. I always want the total. So whenever I find the total, I take the number of people involved and multiply by the average. That will give me the total. Everybody with me? All right, that was nice. Now, do me a favor. I need for you to pull up, what's today? 10- what? 10-2. Everybody pull up 10-2 for me.
No, we did one.
We did 10-1 yesterday. Oh, now it kind of looks the same. All right, it kind of looks the same, except we're talking about measures of variability. Yesterday we measured kind of what's going on in the center of the data. Now the measures of variability, listen to me on this, and again, this is not going to be on the ERBs as far as what does variability mean, but I'm going to explain to you what they're trying to get you to understand. Variability is just how much space between data points is there. Does everybody hear what I'm saying? What's the matter? All right. Is everybody with me now? Everybody hear what I just said? All right. So, for example, listen to me. Look up, look up, look up. We take a test. How many points is the test worth? 100 points. Let's say I say the range was 5. What does that mean? If the range is 5. Nope. If the range is 5.
Does that mean there's 20 questions?
No, 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 no. What does the range mean? No. Somebody tell me what range means. Maybe we forgot that. Maybe I thought you knew that. What is the what? Right. So hear me, guys. Listen up. If I asked you what the range is and I said the range was 5, that means the difference between the highest score and the lowest score is what? 5. You agree? If I said the range is 5, the highest minus the lowest is 5. So what does that mean about everybody who took the test? No, it has nothing to do with the 95.
They all got similar grades.
They all got similar grades. Thank you for thinking. Do you agree with me? Now, what if I said we took a test and the range was 60? There's a big range. Now, what that means is that someone scored very what? Low, and someone scored very high. Right? So in order to get a 60, if someone got 100, that means somebody had to get a what? 40. So the range is what? 60. So when you have a big range, that means that the grades were what? Spread out. With a small range, that means the range was what? That means the grades were what? Close together. All right? So that's what they're talking about when they say the measure of variability. And generally, when I give a test, I want the range to be what? Small. Exactly. And I want the average to be close to what number? 100. I want the average to be close to 100. All right? So bear with me on that. All right? So now I'm going to try to teach you how to find different ways of finding, all right, how you can tell what the relationship between the numbers are. All right? So I need your attention. Now, I'm going to ask you to make a few little notes here. All right? So at the top, all right, I already discussed range. All right? And what did I say the range was? And what do? Subtract. So I want everybody, when somebody asks you about the range, you just do the highest minus the lowest. All right? All right, so number 1, range. And you're allowed to use your calculator today because some of the numbers are big, some of them are not so big. All right, we're going to start with the range on number 1. And somebody tell me what it is, Justice.
14.
Does everybody else get a 14? Very good with 14?
Do we have to write range? Or
Yes, right, range equals 14. Because we're going to do some other things too, okay? Range, right? Because I'm going to do interquartile range in a minute too. All right, I'm going to show you some other things. All right, so since I'm looking at number 3, let's do range. All right, range for number 3. Now, Aiden, listen, you didn't bring your homework today, all right? So I want you to sit up. I want to see that you're working hard, all right? Because again, I'm going to put a little pressure on you to do a little better. All right, come on, I expect you to do your work. Aiden, what's the range for number 3?
Oh, no, I was looking at number 2.
I'm on number 3. What's the range? Well, first of all, tell me what the highest is. And what's the lowest? Okay. So does anybody have any issues with the range being 13? Okay. Now I want to look at number 5. We're going to do the range for number 5. I'm just going to go down and do the odds. All right. Somebody tell me what's the smallest number in this one? 89. And what's the largest?
149.
Is everybody okay with that being 149? Is that correct? So the range then would be, is everybody comfortable with the range being 60? Now remember, guys, we're having trouble with some of you guys. Not pointing anybody's fingers at anybody, but I don't want you just writing down range equals 60. Right? I want you to figure it out. When I'm asking you a question and say what's the lowest, you should tell me what the lowest is. When I say what's the highest, you should tell me what the highest is. And when I ask you what the range is, you should take your calculator out if you can't subtract and do the subtraction. Or you got to participate. All right? Now, for question number 7. All right, let's talk about, or let's find the smallest. Somebody tell me what the smallest is.
1.6.
I got a 1.6. Somebody tell me what the largest is.
6.3.
All right, that's better. That's better. All right, so now we're going to go with range. And my range here is what? 4.7. All right, 4.7. Now, does everybody understand what I'm saying here now about my range being 60? If my range is 60, what does that mean about the data?
It's different. There's one's. Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about outliers in a minute, but I want you to be able to tell me what's true about the range is 4.7 then. I want you to be able to tell me if the range is 60 and the range is 4.7, what does that mean about the data points? I didn't make myself clear. What do you think? If the range is 60 and the range is 4.7, what's true about the data? They're very different. I don't know what that means.
They're close or big?
What do you mean close? If the range is small, what does that mean about the numbers?
They're similar.
They're similar. If the range is big, that means the numbers are what?
Different.
Spread out. The numbers are spread out. Is everybody hearing what I'm saying? The smaller the range, the closer the numbers are. The bigger the range, the more the numbers are what? Spread out. That's what that means. All right, is everybody good with this? All right. Now, let's look at the table here on question number 9, because I don't want to make a mistake on that either. Well, the ages of people at the movie, they just went and asked a bunch of people, right? So all I have to do is tell me what's the smallest.
It's 10
And what?
and 34.
34. So everybody's going to tell me that the range is what? The range is 24. Okay? Everybody good on this? All right. Now, do you guys have a blank sheet in the middle? Does it have
No.
the boxes on it?
Actually, you can go into settings I'm pretty sure, to change the paper.
Yeah, that's what we're going to show you now. All right. So on your paper, you hit the little wrench up there and the paper, and if you turn the paper into the smallest box, it'll make the graph paper. Is everybody with me on this? All right. Now again, it's not really necessary. All right. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. You really don't need it. You don't really need it. All right. But here's what I want to do now. All right. We're going to take number 1 now, and we're going to move it down. All right. And what I mean by that is I'm going to show you how to make like a box and whiskers today. So I want to take number 1, and I want you to copy it down here. All right. And here are my numbers. All right. Now, the first thing I need to do, all right, and again, if you want to label this at the top here, I want to do this. I want you to write box and whiskers. I don't know why they call it this, to be perfectly honest. Box and whiskers. All right, let me explain. Like I said, I don't know why. All right, I've never even used this before, or I don't really like this, but it's becoming more common. All right, that's why I'm trying to get you to be more familiar with it. All right, so I first want someone to list out the numbers from smallest to largest. From smallest to largest. Come on, girls.
7, 8, 9, 13.
13, 19, and 21. So I need everybody to do that for me. All right, everybody do that. All right. We just put those numbers in order. 7, 8, 9, 13, 19, 21. All right. Now what I want is, I want everybody, we're going to make a number line. Not really a number line, but you're going to make it. We're going to now try to create kind of like a box and whiskers. All right. Now, all right, here's what I want you to do. The first thing is we're going to find the median. I want you to put a mark right here, and that's going to be our median. All right. So what would be the median here? What is it?
13. No, it's 9.
No, it's not.
It's 11.
It's 11. Right? Hey, come on now, you guys. You got to listen, because I'm teaching you something new now. All right? In the past now, I've just kind of been reviewing and trying to bring you up to speed. Now I'm trying to show you something new, so you got to pay attention. All right? So this mark right here is going to be considered the median. All right? And what is the median again? No, I ask you, what number is the median? 11. All right? So the number in the middle is called 11. All right, that's the median. All right? Now what I'm going to do just for now is my largest number is 21. 11. The next number is going to be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and then 10, 9, 8, 7. Now, why did I go to 7? Yeah, that's the last number. Is everybody with me on this? All right. So that's considered the median. All right. 11 is the median. Is everybody okay with the median? Because there really is no number in the middle. So what do we do with the 13 and the 9? We average them. You did 13 plus 9 and then divided by 2. Is everybody good? Come on now. Got to be listening to me. All right. It's really simple. Really, really, really simple. All right. You with me, Aiden? Yeah. Okay, good. Now, what I want you to do now is in our data points, this right here, I've just split the data into two sections, right? This is the first half, That's the first half of the data points, and this is the what? Second half. Now I'm just going in details here. All right, I'm just going in details here, but that's what you're supposed to be observing. Hey, are you with me? You're still observing up here, right? Everybody take notes on this one, and then the next one's going to be super easy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the median of the first half. All right, so now I'm going to highlight something, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Right, I'm taking these 3 points now right here. What's the median?
8.
The median is what?
3.5.
No, tell me what the median is. Come on. I don't want people just saying this, the same people talking. Here are the 3 points.
8.
What number's in the middle?
8.
Come on, guys. What number's in the middle?
8.
Everybody. 8. You see that? 8 is in the middle. There's only 3 numbers there. All right? So now what you're going to do is I'm going to make it a different color. All right? I don't know why, but I'm going to make it a different color. And I'm going to highlight now 8. This is 8. Does everybody agree with that? Does everybody see what I did? Right? Now, what's in the median, or what's the median of this side over here?
19.
19. So now, let's go and make a dot at 19. Uh-oh. I didn't move my line over, did I? What did I say the original? The original was,
No, 11.
so it was right.
No.
All right, hold on. I'm just going to erase that and do it again. All right. So hold up. Sorry. When I moved mine, I changed things around, and I shouldn't have. All right. So what was the original median was 11, right? So I'm going to put a mark here at 11. All right. Then there's a mark at 8. And then there's a mark at what? 19. All right. Now, all we're doing now is kind of drawing the box, believe it or not. From here to here, and from here to here. Bless you. So everybody see that? Then, that's not us. All right. Then, this 7 is this line that's marked there, and then this line that's marked to what? To 21. And like I said, I don't know what or why they call it a whisker. All right, I understand the box. All right. Now, here's what I want to try to show you what this means now. So eyes up so I can try to explain this. All right, because I've seen it on several tests, and I do think it's easy. All right. So from 11, pay attention, in. From 11 to 7, that represents the lower half of the data. And from 11 to what? To 21 represents the other half. Does everybody agree? So does everybody, the numbers are skewed, we say, to the right. Everybody agree with that? Come on now, you got to listen. It's not hard, but if you don't listen, you're not going to know. Now, what I want everybody to do is, I want everybody to draw something underneath just for this one example. All right, I want you to do this for me. From 8 to 19 represents the inner quartile range. The inner quartile range. All right? The inner quartile range. Now, what does quarter mean, do you think?
1/4.
Yeah.
1/4. All right, so what I'm trying to tell you is here, this, now you got to listen to the words because they make sense. From 7 to 8, that's 1/4 of the data. From 8 to 11, that represents what? 1/4. And from 12 to 19 represents what? 1/4. And from 20 to 21 represents what? Another quarter. So what have I done to the data? I've cut them into what? Quarters. The first thing I did was I cut them into what? Halves. And then I cut them into what? Quarters. So it's just a way to divide the numbers up. All right? So again, from 8 to 19 represents the interquartile range. What that means is that's the middle 50% of the numbers fall from 8 to 19. All right, so when somebody asks you what the interquartile range is, we're going to abbreviate inter I Q R. The interquartile range here would be 11. How did I know that the interquartile range would be 11? What did I do? No. What was the largest in the
Oh.
Yes, let me just do that now. I should have just told you that. The interquartile range is 19 minus 8, which is what? 11. All right. So 19 is an important number and 8 is an important number. All right, that is called the interquartile range. That means this, 50% of the numbers. All right, 50% of the data points are within 11 points of each other. All right, yeah, I'm with you. All right, it's just not that difficult, but they're trying to teach you about data, and they're trying to teach you about how to understand information that you see on a table or a chart or a graph. All right, so now we're going to repeat that real quick. All right, so what I want to do now is I'm going to grab number 3. I'm going to erase this. Oh, I shouldn't erase that. I'm going to move this. And I'm going to see if you guys understand what I'm doing now. All right, so I'm going to bring number 3 down. All right, and let's do it. Paste the image. All right, here we go for number 3. So the first thing I do is I need to put the numbers in order. So somebody tell me what the order is. I'm listening.
31, or 29, 31, 33, 36, 37, 40, 42.
Now always count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is everybody happy with that? Everybody good? Okay. So now we're not going to do all the points. We're just going to do the major points. So what do I mean by that? The next thing I want you to do is I want you to draw a number line. All right. Now let's change the color. This right here is going to be my median. So what is the median? Hey, listen, I want someone to tell me what the median is. 36. Beautiful. So you're going to come down here and you're going to put a 36. All right? So this is the median. Now, the next thing is you just look at the 3 remaining points. What is the median? Hold up. Aiden, what's the median of that set of those 3? Right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to come down here and put a 31. And then someone tell me the median of this data. 40. Is everybody happy with that? So now we're going to come to the right. Now, if I'm looking at that, should I make 40 a little bit further out or a little bit closer? How much from 31 to 36? 5. How much from 36 to 40? 4. So it's about what? It's a little bit closer. Does everybody agree? All right, but not too far. All right, so we could say something like this. And then what am I going to put there? A 40. Is everybody with me on this? All right, now here's what I want to do. We're going to draw the box. And then what's the largest number? What?
Wait, 42.
42. And then what's the smallest number? What is the smallest number? 29. All right, then what you do is you draw this from here to here, and you draw from here to here. So can you say those numbers are pretty evenly spaced? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty evenly spaced. All right, now I want to hear someone tell me inner quartile range. What's the inner quartile range?
31.
Very, very good. Except 40 minus. Yes, I'm proud of you though. Good job. Thank you for listening. 40 minus 31 today is what? 9. The inner quartile range is 9. All right. That means, again, let me make sure you understand that. That means 50% of the numbers are within 9 units of each other. That's what that means. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have to write 40?
No, you can just write 9 down, but I just want to make sure you understand that. All right. Now, there's one more thing that we could discuss, but I'm not going to. All right, and it's called the outliers. Hey, outliers. Maybe I'll talk about outliers tomorrow, but if they ask about the outlier, do I want you to do anything with the outlier today? No, I don't. All right, you don't have to do anything with the outlier. All right, this is the main focus right here. All right, so now number 3, I'm going to grab number what?
5.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do number 5. All right, I'll do number 5 with you. And then I'm just going to assign 2 of these for homework. What time do we get out of here, guys?
37.
Is it 17 today? All right, so bring 5 down. What time is it now? So we have 9 more minutes, right? All right, here we go. So now the annoying part is we have to put these numbers in order. All right, so I need help. What's the smallest?
89.
Come on, who's got it? Who's good at that? 89. Go ahead, Justice.
89 into 98, then 101, 14, 15, and then 124, 114.
Is everybody agreeing with me? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, Justice, you're good at that. Very good. All right, does everybody see that? All right, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a number line. Now, is there a middle number?
No.
No, there isn't. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line to represent that there is no middle number. This, cut them in what? Cut them in half. So what is the median? Somebody tell me what the median is. Go. How much? No. What's the median? Come on.
Oh.
Wow.
11.
Are you with me today? What's the median? Come on.
The median is.
You go to the 2 in the middle. And what do I do with those?
You
Average them. Add them up and divide by 2. Come on, guys. So I think the middle is what? 110. Very nice. So make a mark and put 110. Now, what's the median of the first half of the data? 98. Okay, that's better. So now we're going to make a mark over here and put 98 down. And then what's the median for the other data? 118. Now you make your box. What's the lowest number?
98.
Whoa, what's the lowest number in the data? 89. What's the highest? Now 149 is kind of a lot further out, isn't it? I think it is. All right, now I'm just going to make another color here just so we can see. Well, that wasn't a very good color. From here to here. And that's called a box and whiskers. So I need someone to tell me enter quartile range?
20.
Who said that? How did you do that? You did what?
Oh, never mind.
What?
Never mind.
Tell me.
I did 98 minus.
But you should have.
118 minus 98. 20.
Which of course is what? 20. Bless you.
What's
All right.
the-
Hey, does everybody agree that's not that hard?
No.
All right, it's really not that hard. But if I said what's interquartile range, or if I said median, or if I said 50% of the data points, a little bit harder. All right, is everybody with me? Now, your job tonight, the only thing you have to do is, let's do 7. Hey, I want you to do 7, 9, and then I want you to do 12, 13, and 14. All right, using this information over here. All right, so that should take you about 20 minutes if you're slow. All right, here we go. Just on the first worksheet. 7, 9, 12, 13, and 14. 7, 9, 12, 13, and 14. Yes, sir.
You don't have to create a box of Whisker to estimate how many.
For what?
Well,
Yeah, that's going to be a box and whiskers for sure. Because you have to find the interquartile range. Yes?
Is there like a arithmetic way to do interquartile range? Or is it like you just have to write it down?
Just write it out.
Okay.
All right. Next year, if we had time, I would show you. You could do it on your graphing calculators, actually. All right, really actually. All right. What time do we get out of here?
17.
All right, so we got 4 minutes, guys. 4 minutes, you get a problem done.
Only on the first paper. Only.
Yeah, just do the first page. Don't do the third page. It took me a little bit longer to explain things. But you need the practice. You need the practice. Get to practicing. All right, and if you weren't sure about what I was saying, watch the video again.